Welcome to the Two Tire Parents Amazing Race podcast.
It's us again, Jonathan and Anna from season 37 of The Amazing Race.
Hello.
Come on in.
Yes.
Let's get it, huh? What do you say?
Let's get into this top 10 countdown for leg 9.
Leg 9, we went to Italy.
We went to Italy. That's insane.
This was one of your top travel destinations, right? I think it was number 1.
It's always been at the top of my list.
Mine was Japan, and we went to Japan in leg 2.
And we won leg 2.
We won leg 2, and then your top destination was Italy, and we won.
How crazy is that,
Italy
guys?
leg.
That's insane.
So, wow, what a freaking dream.
Blessed.
I got to get my cut. Look, I'm not even ready. This is so unprofessional.
Get ready.
I'm sorry, guys. It's a little unprofessional.
You're holding up the show.
I know. Go ahead. Go. Well, don't let me stop the show. Go ahead.
Anyway, so first of all, we wanted to start with a top 10, and you have to go to Naples.
Go to Naples.
Go to Naples.
You see number 10, go to Naples.
Just go to Naples.
We are telling you to go to Naples. You need to book a flight out tonight. Do not delay.
Tonight.
In fact, just pause the video right now.
And go ahead and book.
Go book your flight to Naples and then come back and press play. You need to go to Naples. And the reason why is the pizza. The pizza.
Oh.
You need to taste the pizza in Naples. Okay? It hits different. Okay?
Okay, you got to try the pizza before I did. What?
Ooh, FaceTime. Let's just cancel that. Let's keep on. Yeah. Guys, you need to go ahead and go to Naples. I don't care if you have a trip planned somewhere else. Cancel that, right? Book Naples. Do the other trip later because you don't want to leave this earth without having tried pizza from Naples, right? This is the birthplace of pizza, which I didn't know until we went there.
Yeah.
Pizza comes from Naples. And the reason why it tastes so different is because the ingredients from this region taste better. And that's because, remember, you look in the background when Phil is there on Castel St. Elmo, and you see that mountain. Well, it's not. It's a mountain, but it's a volcano. That's Mount Vesuvius.
Yes.
You know, the one that blew its top in the first century, destroyed Pompeii and Herculaneum.
Yeah.
And rest in peace to those poor villagers in Pompeii. But I'm telling you, this stuff that volcano shot out, it deposited this nutrient-rich organic material into the soil in the surrounding area. And so everything that grows there,
everything tastes so different. Like
different
you
kind of
can't
taste.
make Naples pizza here. That's
you can't
impossible.
Make it here. It's impossible to get that same taste, those flavors.
Everything tastes so distinctly different, and it's just like a harmonious blend of ingredients.
And again, that's because of Mount Vesuvius. It's right there.
It's amazing.
Look, go to Naples, okay? I don't got time to keep talking about this. Go to Naples.
And after you go, reach out and
let us know. And then thank us when you come back. Like, oh, wow, you were right. Yeah. We had to go to Naples and try the pizza. You were lying. Okay, anyways, go to Naples, number 10.
Okay, so for number 9, you guys, we are still in Bulgaria.
It almost happened, guys. The iconic blunder from The Amazing Race, it almost happened to us to start the leg. We slept through our alarm. Our call time. We almost slept through our call time.
Okay, so we used to have 2 alarm clocks. He had one, I had one.
We ditched one because at this point in the race, you're trying to unload as much as possible from your bag.
And yours was the biggest one. It was like a fancier version of an alarm clock.
We ditched that one.
We kept the very simple, like Amazon basics overall pick.
And y'all, we almost had a disaster.
I set the alarm, but you have to flick the switch up to turn on the alarm. And I woke up, I think at like 1:40 a.m. Our call time was it like 2:09?
Yeah, we were running by. So we just get up. We throw on our clothes. I don't even think I brushed my teeth.
No, I did not brush my teeth.
We're going to do that at the airport.
We were at the airport. And we didn't even have our bags packed. Like, it was a disaster,
so we're just stuffing stuff into our bags. Like Home Alone status.
I thought for a second like somebody was going to knock and there was going to be a camera or something.
We were worried that we were going to miss our freaking call time. In the race, if you've seen the race, if you haven't seen the race before, there have been people that have slept through their call time and missed
Nobody
flights.
comes and wakes you up. There's not a PA that goes around, giving you a wake-up call.
A camera guy or a camera woman will just come and sit with the camera outside your door.
And wait for you to come out.
They'll play the little cymbal sound and that's it. You got to wake up. They're not going to wake you up. And so
yeah, we looked
very
like crap.
close.
I was exhausted. Like I tried to put some concealer under my eyes just so I didn't look like crazy. But you can tell I look crazy in the taxi
Everyone looked
cab.
a little tired because we all, got woken up pretty early that day.
Yeah.
To catch this flight to Italy.
Thankfully, we had to go to an airport and the flight didn't leave until a few hours later.
Yeah.
But that was terrifying.
That was scary. Yeah. That's a potential game ender for sure.
And everybody's been there, right? Where you like your alarm doesn't go off, you're late for work,
You
and
hit
you wake
that
up in a
snooze.
panic, and you're so stressed. You do not want to start
You
the
get
leg
that
like
cold sweat, right? Like
Yes, yeah, like somebody punched you in the gut.
that was
So,
us to start the leg. So not a great start,
yeah.
right?
So yeah, guys, if you're gonna go in the race, just be careful. Be careful.
Make sure you guys know how to set your alarm clocks properly.
And we always had the other person check. I don't know what was wrong with us the night before. We got a little too comfortable.
Again, got too comfortable, got too complacent. Our system started to break down.
You need like a 2-step verification for everything.
Disaster was narrowly averted there. Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah.
Number 8, energy shift. What am I talking about when I say energy shift? Because you definitely felt when you woke up on this morning, there was an energy shift, right?
Yeah, the tension levels were
heightened. Okay, because
super elevated.
We're like top 5 now, guys. This is like, it's getting very real.
You don't see people smiling. You don't see people fooling around
ain't
anymore.
No more smiling now.
Everybody's serious.
It's like, okay, who's going to go
business.
next? Which one of us are going to be going
Right.
next? Okay, top 5. Every team here now can take you out, right? And any day could be your day. You make one little mistake at this point in the race.
That's it.
Game over. Game over. So it's very tense. The energy has completely shifted. It's no more, not so much fun and games.
No.
It's more like, okay, it's do or die.
And you're looking at other teams like, okay, one of us is going to go home today.
Yeah, it's like, who's going home?
And it's so tense,
and you never want to speak it, but everyone is thinking it.
And we all have that look in our face. Like it's going to be one of us.
Someone's going home today, guys. So energy shifted for sure at the start of leg 9. Anyways, we fly to Naples, right?
Yes.
And they line us up. We run out of the airport looking for the marked taxis.
Yes. And we had a bit of a hard time. You know, there's a balance between like following the herd and trying to do your own thing. Sometimes it's best to stay with teams that you think know what they're doing.
I feel like in a top 5 scenario, it's better to actually stay with the herd. Because you don't want to take a risk at this point.
You want to keep eyes on the other teams as well.
Yeah, you want to be around the other teams.
Right. But I feel like at the beginning, when we ran out of the airport, like half of us ran to the right.
And then a couple of us ran to the left.
And the left was the right one.
Left was the winner.
Mark and Brad, Han and Holden.
They got in the cab first.
And just so you guys know, like our only clue is you have to head to parking lot, I don't know, H, and find the marked cars. And you don't really know. There's not really like a map at the airport. So you just run out and you're trying to, you know, find this sign as quickly as possible.
That's one of the most stressful periods of the race. By the way, the most stress you will ever feel on the race, if you're going on the race, or if you've been on the race, for us, it's when they line you up at the start of the leg. And it's just, you feel that pit you feel that feeling in the pit of your stomach. Yeah. Right? You feel the cold sweat, and it's like, okay, it's go time. That is one
feeling that I don't miss. That is the one thing about the race.
And it never went away.
Never.
Every time they lined us up, it never got more comfortable. It almost got worse as the race.
Especially me knowing that I'm not a fast runner. I just know everybody's just going to go. And knowing that, just like, ugh.
And only fast teams left at this point. Everybody's fast. We're the slowest team, so very stressful. Yeah. When you start the leg.
Totally.
Anyways, we get to Castel St. Elmo, right?
It was so beautiful up there, you guys.
We have to find El Capitan, but we had a bit of trouble getting to that upper terrace, right?
Right. So same. So we get out of the Funiculì.
Right.
Before we take the funicular.
The funicular, right.
Yeah. And we have to run uphill, you guys, to try to get to the castle. And of course, we're at the back of the pack. Mark and Brett are leading the way. And they seem to know exactly where to go. So we just follow them, essentially.
Yeah.
And because they're so far ahead, they realize that they're not going the right way. So we're able to kind of, make a quick right. Right. And we find the elevator.
We go down this kind of narrow passage, and there's an elevator there.
Yeah.
Now, it turns out in the end, we weren't supposed to take that elevator. They tell us at the end of the leg, you guys weren't supposed to take that elevator. But nobody knew. Seemed to know where to go. And it just said
to get there by foot.
Right.
And,
so,
the elevator
anyways,
counts.
We get in the elevator. There's a bit of an elevator incident.
Yeah.
Number 7, this was not shown on your screen. So, do we want to talk about this?
Yeah. So, I think Josiah and Alyssa were in front of us, and there was a misunderstanding. Because it says you have to travel by foot.
On foot. Again, kind of like with that Annalise situation, season 35. Does this mean we could take the elevator?
Right.
Or not?
And I get it. So Josiah and Alyssa turned around. They're like, no, we can't take the elevator.
They go back.
But they go back. But
we're tired, right? We're not trying to run up. We don't have the stamina that these other teams. So we just say, we're going to take the elevator. If we get penalized, so be it. We're taking this elevator. I'm not doing any more running.
Also get in the elevator. So they get in first.
So we squeeze in with remember, it's Hannah Holden, us, but also our 4 crew members.
Exactly. So, and then we squeeze in, and then eventually we see the other teams come back. They're like, oh, this is the way we're supposed to go up.
And there's a bit of a dispute that takes place. A tiny little...
Where one team's
dispute.
like, no, you don't fit. You got to essentially stay behind. Yeah, and that was a little tense.
It got a little testy. Okay, because again, top 5, guys, energy shifted.
100%. It's every man for himself.
But and eventually, Han and Holden and us, we go up the elevator.
Right. And
get the clue, and then you see the other 3 teams come in after us.
And honestly, that was such a defining moment because that is that moment that separated us from the other 3 faster teams.
That gave us a 5-10 minute lead on the other teams because we go down to the funicular. Now the other teams have to go get their clue, wait for that funicular to come back up.
Exactly. And the funicular moves pretty slow.
It's a slow moving vehicle. Yeah. So
So anyways,
that was the elevator incident.
Yes.
A little bit of drama to start the leg. Anyways, what happens next? So we have that great lead on these 3 incredible teams. We're pumped up.
Great.
And what do? We immediately get lost.
Yeah.
After that.
By the way, did you know Han spoke French? This was the day I learned that Han speaks amazing French.
Yeah, very.
She spoke with the French lady at the funicular to help us get directions to the
Busto de Pulcinella. Yeah.
Yes. And so we run out of the funicular together. We got directions. We're like, okay, let's just we're together. Let's just run together.
So we worked with Han and Holden to find our way to this bus.
And so we have very clear directions, you guys. And where we're supposed to make a right, it's not a very clear, it doesn't look like an obvious intersection or a street. It almost looks like an entry to a church. And I think that's what Holden said. He's like, oh, that's the entrance to the basilica. So we just keep running straight, even though that was the right turn.
Yeah, you'll see there's a split second where they show us running past the place where we were supposed to turn right into. And that would have taken us directly to the bust of Pulcinella. But
no lie, we ran another 3/4 of a mile.
We ran for 15 minutes.
Away.
15 minutes. Maybe 20.
From the Pulcinella, you guys.
We got lost for 15 or 20 minutes. And, because you don't really have a sense of where you are at this point, where the other teams are. Mm-hmm. When we eventually get to the clue box, I think we're in first because I don't realize how much time has passed. Again, you lose your sense of time when you're in the middle of a race. And so I figure we get to the clue box and think, we're still in first.
And because you're running, you think everything's moving quickly, but it really isn't, you guys.
These other teams went directly to the clue box.
Because something about navigating the streets of Naples is you have, the gravel or the cobblestone, and then you're going up and you're going down. It's like
a maze. It's a freaking maze. You feel like a rat in a maze.
And it's hard on your running. You're not just running straight. You're trying to maneuver. I almost got hit by a motorcycle. A motorcycle at some point. I was like,
it's chaotic. It's hella chaotic.
So chaotic.
Anyways,
it's super busy.
We got lost. We eventually find our way to the clue. But I just want to say, I feel like when we work with other teams, it's almost harder because there's so many different voices in different ways of 100%. Approaching the problem. Yeah. I feel like it would have been better if we just did it ourselves.
Did our thing. Yeah.
Because there were too many cooks in the kitchen, I feel like. And that was the fundamental problem with running with another team.
Right.
It wasn't anybody's fault.
No. But you essentially distract each other. That's what happens. And so we get to Pulcinella. We open up our clue.
It's detour, mandolin or mozzarella.
Yes.
And of course we choose mandolin because
immediately. And even as I'm reading the additional info, it seems a more straightforward challenge. The other one just had too many steps.
Well, and of course I play I play guitar, so that's.
But me, if mozzarella would have been more straightforward, would have been like, we have to do mozzarella, and then you would have fought me like
we would
have
had a debate. It would have
been like ninja, where you're like, no, we have to do it, and I would have been like, no.
That's right. You are making the detour decisions.
Yes.
We made that decision after leg 3, and so thankfully, what made you put so much faith in me, by the way?
The additional info, I read it and it was very straightforward.
So you weren't thinking you know how to play guitar?
I was not thinking about that. Sorry, I wasn't thinking about you. I was thinking about what is going to be the fastest.
Anyways, thankfully she chose mandolin. Yeah. And
I wanted to take Han and Holden with us, you guys.
We tried to get Han and Holden to come with us.
Stay with us.
I was so confident in my ability to do this detour.
Yeah, we'll work together and I'll help you.
I tried to get Han and Holden to come with us. I said, I could basically do it for you.
But Holden was probably like, no, we just got lost together. I'm just going to go. We're going to go and do our thing.
I think they had lost some confidence in us at that point. And so they chose to go their own way. And we ended up being the only ones at this mandolin detour. Number 5, make it a mandolin.
Which was honestly beautiful, you guys.
Magical. This was magical. That's the only word I could use.
The place itself was beautiful.
It looked like we were dropped into a movie set.
That's exactly what it felt like.
I said, where are we? And it's just this
we were in the
tiny little
shade.
shop in Naples.
It was cool.
Oh my God, we weren't
got to
outside
drink some
baking
water.
in the heat. We had water, y'all. I mean,
It was like,
and then there was a
luxurious.
guy at the entrance. You saw
Playing
him
in
just
the
like
back row.
playing the mandolin, and it was just
It was a vibe.
magical. It was a
vibe.
freaking vibe. And again, I keep saying this, but it was another highlight of the race for me. I feel like every leg, something amazing happens, and that's what it's like to be on the Amazing Race.
You know, and I want to talk about something that somebody pointed out. And I mean, we know this, but I hope you guys were able to see this and how well we worked on this challenge. But partly this was due because you had your own role and you stuck to it, and I had my role.
There was
and I
a very
stuck to it.
clear division of labor, and that's when
100%.
we really excel.
That's how we function in life.
Right.
Like,
And, you know, a lot of people just say, like, they don't understand. When you go on a show, you're in a different environment. So, like, I know it's very tempting to want to judge a couple based on what you see on TV, but that's not how it works back at home. People always say, I keep reading comments, oh, I'm sure behind closed doors, it's awful. Oh, poor Anna. It's like, we're not at the
not
race
only
when we're
that,
at home, guys.
we're not together 24/7
We're
at
not
home.
together 24/7.
That in itself, it's
we're
a
not
challenge,
in a
you
high stress
guys.
environment. We
Now-
have our systems and our routines already
Yes,
established
we have our
here.
private spaces. We have the, we each do our own thing,
Yeah,
and we
so-
just come together and do life together
This
and
detour-
parent
yeah.
together, and be a couple together.
Yes.
But yeah, I feel like this detour really exemplifies that.
Right,
And,
I got to do things the way I want to do it, and she got to do, her part the
and
way
we
she
can
wanted to
support
do
each
it.
other if we need it. Like, okay, I need a little bit of direction, help
Right.
me, or no, I'm good, get out of my
Now
way.
there are other detours on the race where we have to work together simultaneously, and that's when it gets tricky for us. That's
Like
one of our
Penjor,
weak points.
remember?
Penjor, right? We had some issues with Penjor because we had to do it together.
Yeah.
There wasn't a clear, delineation of labor.
Even Hey, where I was just like, I know exactly what I'm doing. Sit
another
out.
example.
Like, I don't need you complaining right now. Yeah.
Anyways, we made the mandolin. We get approved,
And you begged.
I wanted to take the mandolin.
You're like,
I wanted this
please.
mandolin so because I was just gonna take it with me throughout Naples and play
listen,
that thing.
I don't know if you guys noticed on this leg, but my backpack was gone. I got rid of my backpack.
She ditched her bag.
I ditched the bag. It's like God was telling me, you're about to do something physically hard for you. You're gonna run for an entire leg. You need to just leave it. Forget
Something
about
told
it.
us like ditch
It was
the
the
bag
weirdest thing.
now. Today is the day. Ditch
Today
the bag.
is the day.
and you got rid of
But
it.
listen, I was willing to haul that mandolin with me the entire, for the remainder of our
I
race.
wanted that mandolin so bad.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Yeah. Too bad.
So now we have to go back to Naples.
and we
with the
are
mandolin.
guys. We're going back to Naples. Remember how we said go to Naples? That's not just
We weren't
us. Like,
kidding.
we're going to
No.
Naples. That's we
Yeah.
booked a trip to Naples as soon as we got back because the first thing we said we have to take the family to go try this pizza.
Yes.
It's incredible. It's that good.
It's amazing. It's life changing. Life
So
changing. Yeah.
there are a number of places that we went on the race where we said, okay, we got to go back there.
100%. And this was one of them.
This was one of them, and
Yeah.
we immediately
Yeah.
booked a trip to Naples when we got back home.
So do yourself a favor. Just
Go to Naples. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, number 4.
Yes.
After that, we get to go grocery shopping.
Oh my goodness!
in
What
Naples,
a
which was
what a cool route info.
fun. Yeah, and you see the women on the balconies
ciao.
lowering the buckets down, and I guess
Yes.
this is how they receive groceries.
Makes sense. You don't have to go up and down the stairs.
in Naples,
Yeah.
right.
It's very efficient. I love it. And so we run down to get our bread, get our sausage.
Pretty straightforward. Nothing really exceptional happening here, but it was just fun.
Right. Except you kept telling teams where the clue box was, and I was like, "Can you be quiet?"
I don't mind helping out teams.
Yeah.
But she was getting bothered because I kept hey, it's over there, guys. It's right.
Stuff I'm like,
I like to be helpful. It doesn't hurt me
know.
to help these teams. I don't think,
Yeah.
Anyway,
So we finished our shopping. That was super fun, you guys. And then we have to find our car again so we can head to the restaurant.
right. And
We have a bit of a hard time finding this restaurant. Now,
I don't think it was a hard time.
Well, now we know that the car was literally like around the corner from where we were. And I think, just getting directions obviously is what set us back a little bit and it allowed the other two teams
that is
to
kind of
kinda
interesting
move up.
because we were the first one to finish the grocery shopping
Yes.
task.
Yeah.
Yet we were the second or
Third.
third team to get into the car. And that's because if you look at Bread and Mart, they asked the grocery guy, the guy working at the vegetable stand.
And that's
they said, where is
confusing.
this place? And he was a local. He said, oh,
Yeah.
that's just like right around the corner. We asked a tourist, someone that was not a local.
Right.
And, she gave us her phone and we looked it up and we did it that way. And
Yeah.
it would have been really nice to just have a local just kind of put, hey, it's like right there, guys.
It's so hard to find people to help you because sometimes, the people that are helping with the challenges, they're not allowed to help you. So, or they're part of production. Occasionally, I will go up to people and they're like, "Oh no, I'm working.
I think there's
with the
definitely a bit of luck involved there, or maybe there's like an art to it. Maybe knowing who to ask,
right
at that time could be tremendously beneficial.
But yeah, it made a difference. It because every second counts at this point, you guys.
Right, the energy
every
show.
second.
Top 5.
No.
Yeah.
So we eventually get our car.
We get there.
Our driver was awesome though. He was hustling for us.
Stefano, shout out Stefano.
Oh my goodness. And at some point, I think he was trying to take a shortcut.
He tried to take a shortcut. It
but
didn't
the car
work.
didn't fit.
These were very narrow streets, which I guess they're used going down. But we couldn't go down this
if
one
we had a Mini Cooper,
street.
it would have been like
Stefano was
Italian
making
job.
moves out there. He was like Italian job status.
So he had to reverse, and he was
out.
beep beep. And at some point,
Carson and Jack catch up, right? Because
But I don't know if you remember, that was like a very late yellow light, and their driver went for it, and Stefano almost went for it. Was about to.
He was about to blow through the red. I said, Stefano,
cool.
No.
Jonathan was like, "It's cool. Don't worry about it. Thank you."
Because we get penalized. If you don't know this, we get penalized for violating
not
traffic
necessarily because he's like a taxi driver. Like if he
think?
decides to, that's on him. If we were driving, we absolutely can't.
I see.
FYI. But no, it was too crowded. I was
Anyways,
like, no, it's cool.
We need to get to number 3, Pizza Queen.
Yes.
She gets to the pizzeria, and it is, again,
Pizza time.
we lucked out on this leg, guys. I mean, I got to do my thing, right? Mandolin.
Right.
And then we get to the roadblock, and it's freaking, right in her wheelhouse, making pizza.
You don't understand. Luck is an understatement. We were just like, this is incredible, because nowhere in my application did I write down that I used to work at Domino's. Nobody knows that I know how to make pizza.
I know what people are thinking. People are like,
magical.
I know people are thinking, hey, the show did this, obviously, because Anna worked at a pizzeria. But they didn't know that,
They
right?
didn't even know you play guitar. It wasn't until after the episode, after we got home, that one of the producers was like, hey, do you have any pictures of you playing guitar?
This one was
And that's
wild,
when
guys.
you sent them that picture.
They
as a
didn't
kid.
know this stuff. They did, unless they called some of the people on our application and found out that way. I don't know.
It is wild, you guys.
I don't think they knew.
I just think it was magical.
This was a magical,
especially because Italy was a place that I always wanted to go to.
And we both found challenges that were just so in our wheelhouse. Pure magic, right?
Yeah. So anyway,
and you cooked up a nice little pizza there, huh? On your first try.
Yeah. So I get there and the presentation is done, you guys. So I was a little nervous.
You were late to the demo.
I was late to the demo, sorry. Yeah. And our guy was already putting the pizza in the oven, and I was still reading the additional info. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. Pizza has to look a certain way.
It's pizza. I mean, how hard could it be, right?
Right, unless there's some crazy technique that they're using here.
You said in the show that you've done it 1,000 times, right?
And again, I'm such a perfectionist. It's one of those things that it's like riding a bike. You just don't forget. So yeah, at some point I did have to go back and see what the other toppings, what we had to do with them. I didn't want to put the wrong amount of basil leaves or whatever. But the only thing that was new to me was the turning in the oven. That's not something you do at these, franchises. So I just had to do my best to keep my eye on it and not burn it.
Make sure you didn't get burned.
Yeah.
Right.
And because they even checked the bottom of the pizza and making sure it was fully cooked and that it wasn't burned. It was wild.
By the way, I love that moment where Alyssa reaches into the pizza oven to kind of fix the pizza.
Just fix this
and then
real
she goes, oh shit, that's hot. Yep. That's something I would have done. And that's why I found that
100%.
intensely relatable 100%. When she did that. Yeah. I thought that was hilarious. Hey, Alyssa, if you're watching.
So then we have to take our pizza and run it over to...
Yes, we go on a long run.
Yeah.
And I say number 2 is called long run because I think this run that we made from the pizzeria to the pit stop was maybe the longest continuous run that we had to do on the race. And it was a tough one for you because, again, this is at the end of the leg.
And not only was it continuous, guys, there's an elevation involved. You're running up and you're running up, and then
I want to say it was a good mile. Was it a mile? We should have looked this up before.
I don't think it was a mile.
I think it was a mile.
But listen, guys, when I asked for my pizza to get checked, it's I go check, and then I hear check. So I'm thinking everybody else is going to be right behind us. And
mentally you think the people are right behind you, right?
I am terrified because Mark and Brett are so fast.
Mark and Brett they're effortlessly fast, Mark and Brett. I mean, you see the way these guys are built. They're built like gods. And so she hears the check. We get outside and, we rip open that final clue.
I'm like,
but in our minds, they're right behind us.
Like right behind me. So much, you guys, that as I'm running up this hill, I drop my sunglasses and I look back and I'm like, no, because I am not going back to get them.
And
I left my sunglasses behind.
This is a tough run for you, right? You had a hard time.
You guys,
with this
I
one.
was groaning, moaning. I called out to Jesus. I was like, please. And Jonathan's just like, are you okay? You're doing great, babe.
And a couple of times the cameraman had to tell me, or the sound guy rather, had to tell me, you're breaking the 20-foot rule.
Yes, like,
because
slow down.
I'm so focused on getting that win. You know, I'm forgetting that my partner is like behind me. He's
and
like
I'm not
wheezing.
carrying anything, you guys.
I just hear behind me. I'm like, you good, bro?
You laughing at me? Anyway, but you're carrying the pizza. You're carrying everything, and I'm just like
forgot about my partner
to not pass out.
But she did a great job. She stuck with it. She was tenacious, and we get to, I think it was Castel Nuovo.
Yes.
And we get to the pit stop.
Beautiful castle, by the way.
Beautiful castle. Yeah. We see Phil, that awesome band behind them, right? Dun, 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 and we start singing with the band because they're playing the hit song Funiculì, funiculà.
Yes.
And guys, it didn't hit me until after. Like I was at the hotel later thinking about the song they were playing. I was like, wait a minute. I think that song means funicular because we rode the funicular to start the leg, and now they're playing.
So then we're like, duh.
Does this mean funicular? And we get back home and we realize, we look it up.
But
it's a song written about a funicular, the first funicular that was built that went up Mount Vesuvius, I guess in 1880, I think it was.
But something else, though.
Yeah. When we looked up the song, because we wanted to learn the lyrics, because I tried to sing it, but I really didn't know the full lyrics, but I noticed I knew the hook, right?
Yeah.
And so we looked up the translation to the song, guys, and
guess what?
Her name is in the song.
I make an appearance.
It's a guy talking to this girl Anna, and I said, "Oh, okay, that's
weird?
Just like wow, that's perfect.
A little weird.
That's crazy."
Right.
One of our favorite legs.
It was literally a perfect leg.
Funiculì, funiculà, and the song literally has your name in it, and that's insane.
That's a little wild. And then we come in first. I mean, it was a dream, you guys. It was a dreamy leg.
Dream leg. And we won it. Win number 3. Congrats.
Yes.
That was well earned. And and that's the end of our recap, I guess, right?
Yes. I mean, do we talk about the non-elimination leg?
Oh yeah, it was the non-elim. When we get there,
hold up.
Go. So when we get to the pit stop and we do our interview with Phil, he reaches behind his back and we say, "Oh no."
No. He first talks about the twist. There's a twist in the leg. And he his
reaches.
hand reaches back.
And you think
and
a
I'm
clue.
just like,
oh my God, it's a mega leg.
Just kidding.
And he says, "Just kidding. It's not a mega leg." He tells us it's a non-elimination leg.
Yeah. And I was honestly so excited because at this point I hadn't seen Hannah and Holden.
We
so I'm
knew
like,
they
if
were
they're
in last
struggling and if they're in last,
so we were happy. Like, oh my God,
saved.
they're safe. Hannah and Holden are safe.
Right.
And it sucks because every now and then you just have a nightmare leg, right? And you don't want that to be the end of your race. But
I know. That was us.
Luckily, they were saved. Yeah.
Yes. So I totally understand.
We were so happy to hear that it was a non-elim. It would have been cool though to continue racing in Italy because we were really feeling Italy, and we were hoping maybe that we would go to Pompeii. In the back of my mind, I was almost hoping that he brought out a close. Are we going to Pompeii? Right.
Jonathan's still dreaming about that mega leg being in Pompeii.
When we go back, of course, we're going to visit Pompeii, and we will take plenty of videos and pictures for you guys.
Yeah. All right, you guys. So that is the wrap for our leg 9 top 10 countdown.
Next, we are headed to Strasbourg, France, where there is a head-to-head coming up. So, I wonder how that's going to play out. It will be very exciting. So tune in Wednesday at 9:30 Eastern on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Yeah, we've also never been to France, so it's going to be exciting.
First time in France.
All right, guys. Stick around. We'll see you on the next Top 10 Countdown.
See you guys.